with the slow rollers.
Hello to episode number 5 of whatever this is called. We just haven't come up with a name.
No, it's the ADI, PDI focused
Just
chat on a certain subject with a few little segments thrown in.
yeah, there we go.
Podcast.
That's rolls off the tongue, guys. Rolls off the
It was
tongue.
easy, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
So,
So
yes, welcome. I'm Ian.
I'm yeah, literally, I'm like,
I used to listen. Look, I said it with such conviction as well.
you should have let me say I'm Doug.
Yeah,
So I'm Ian.
yeah.
That is Doug.
Doug, yeah.
Cool.
And actually, not done deliberately, but as a teaching thing, sometimes you can say things and it's wrong
Mhm.
on your drive.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
say it with such conviction, the learner believes
yeah,
it.
totally. Actually, no, that's totally off subject. It's fine.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah.
Well, no, I had a part 2 session this morning with
Yeah.
somebody brand new. And there's this building in Guildford, you might know it, in Stoughton,
Yeah.
and it's the old barracks from like 1891 or something.
Okay.
And
That's when you were born, wasn't it?
pretty much.
Yeah.
And every time I drive past it, I tell my students it's the last ever castle built in England because it looks a bit castle-y. And they've always believed me forever.
I wonder how many of them go back to their parents and they're driving down that road.
Did you know the last ever castle?
Yeah, my driving instructor told me. Oh dear.
So yeah, but anyway, yeah, so that's totally random.
Yeah, anyway, cool. So welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, so today we're going to have a chat about POM.
Yep.
And most of you will know, all of you, unless you're a brand new PDI,
Yes.
obviously stands for Prepare, Observe and Move.
Yes.
If you hadn't seen our episode last week, then that was the prequel to this.
Yep.
And that was having a little chat about controls and
Mhm.
how you guys teach it. And if you're PDIs, how you should teach it.
Yeah.
And that is the aim for this, how we want this podcast to grow.
Yes.
Is some PDIs in there learning, some ADIs spouting out their knowledge.
Definitely.
And then me and you being moderators in between,
Yeah.
enjoying the drive, as it were.
Yeah, that's it. So if there is anybody in the chat, please just let us know if you're an ADI, a PDI, just so we can help focus the chat to help you as much as possible.
Yeah.
If there's more PDIs watching, then we can talk about it in that way. If it's more
If they're all
ADIs,
ADIs, then we can moan about the PDIs, can't
yeah,
we?
that's it.
Yeah. And if you're all PDIs, we can moan about the ADIs.
That's it. So yeah,
yeah.
so say hi in the chat. Let us know PDI, ADI, no judgment. It's
Yeah.
everybody was new once.
Yeah. And it's all about having fun. We like a bit of, if we say something you don't agree,
So tell us.
say it, because we like a bit of debate, a bit of chat.
Yeah.
And that's what makes us better instructors.
Yes.
I think me and you and everyone else, I think we've all grown from people challenging what we think,
Yep.
or we challenging them
Mhm.
on their thoughts, and then you get both sides of the story.
Definitely.
Which, as we know as driving instructors, there's different sides to all our learners.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's good to have a varied approach on all of it.
Definitely.
So shall we go straight in?
Deep dive into POM.
Deep dive into POM.
Yeah. let's do it.
So, why do we teach POM? Like, what's the point? Why can't we just get our learners and just say, do the clutch, put it in gear, go, biting point?
Because
Why do we do that for them?
That's a good question. You tell
And
me.
do you do it? Do you do it? Do you do it, you instructors, or do you just get your pupils just to do it?
So it's a
Joy?
little bit of structure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some people like structure, some people don't. So we can introduce the acronym,
Mm.
but the student might not listen to the acronym, but listen to the order we're doing stuff and why we're doing that stuff.
Okay.
And they'll remember it in that way. They might
Yeah.
totally forget POM, but they'll know clutch down, first gear, set gas, fine, bike,
Yeah.
look around before I signal and go.
Yeah.
They'll remember that.
Yeah.
But either by route or by visualization,
Yeah.
or however they learn. But POM, I suppose, is the quickest and easiest way for some people to remember things.
Yeah. The word association. A wise man once told me that there's a French apple.
Yeah.
And it's POM. And yeah, and that reminds me of the POM. So if you forget the acronym,
Yeah.
and that wise man and his words will always stick with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So this guy was wise.
Don't know. but yeah, you just say French apple. So and then your learner goes, oh yeah, POM.
Yeah.
And then that reminds them of the order. So they might feel blank because if
Yeah.
you just told your learner, how do we do it? They'll be like, I don't know. Is it I look around? Then they go back to French apple and POM, prepare, observe, and then move.
Yeah, it's remembering, isn't it?
Yeah.
I had a lesson just before with these live streams this evening, and we were coming back up from Portsmouth, and this person I was teaching remembered what we were chatting about because she visualized. Oh, when we were coming through this village, we chatted about X. So completely, and I said to her, "You were
Well,
like a
her
bit."
ex.
No, no, X and Y.
Oh, okay.
X and Y. And I said to her, "You were like is that how you remember things?" She goes, "Yeah, all the time. I always remember like conversations we've had in places
Yeah.
more than the conversation. Sometimes I'll go to somewhere and I'll remember the conversation we had because I've gone to that place."
Yeah. Okay.
And that helps me now learn. Helps her to teach.
Yeah.
Helps her to learn via my teaching.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, very important for you guys to know. I'm sure you experienced ADIs know this already, but if you're
Yes.
new at it, or you just had sort of basic training and you got thrown in on a pink, or
Yeah.
you're green and you haven't done it much, get to know your learner.
Yes.
So important. Get to know them. What makes them tick?
Yeah.
How do they learn? We spoke about this last week.
We
Was
did.
it preparing
Yes.
how to prepare your learner for their first driving lesson?
Yeah.
So I can't say it enough. Get to know them.
Yeah.
It's going to really help them out.
Yes. Be very careful you don't force onto them learning the way you learn.
Yeah,
Because you find it the easiest way, you expect everybody else to.
yeah. You're like,
Everyone's
why aren't
different.
you learning it? This is the easiest way.
Yeah. This
Like,
is how I learn it. Why can't you learn it?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's never going to help.
No.
So yeah, just try things in different ways. Explain it in different ways.
Good. So that's the acronym of POM.
Yep.
Let's dive into how to prepare a car.
Yep.
Should we talk about manual first?
Manual first, yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Cool.
I'll do auto because I do auto. So
Yeah.
you go straight in for manual. So how do you get your learners
Hmm.
to prepare a car? Like
So it's very
not learner mode.
yeah.
Obviously, we're talking
It
to you professionals out there.
yeah. So it's very dependent on the student.
Mm,
Again, you've got to make sure you're pitching it right for the student you've got. If you've got somebody who's had previous driving experience, they've done some stock car driving, they've driven in a field maybe with their dad
yeah,
before the lesson, you're not going to have to explain quite so much to them than to the person that's never sat in the driver's seat of a car before and maybe is having lessons because their parents have told them to,
yeah.
but they don't really want
Yeah.
to be there.
You're
And
going into the ask.
yeah.
So, the tell, ask, what that
Yes.
we've all been taught.
Yep.
You almost go straight into the ask phase
Hmm.
of the
Yeah.
POM of the putting the clutch down and that sort of thing, rather than going in at the telling phase.
That's it.
Yeah,
So preparing the car, if you're doing it ultimately, it's to the point where the car's ready to go if you take the handbrake off.
yep,
So we're going to press the left foot down on the clutch. Very important PDIs to remember to like use descriptive words. So left foot on the clutch. If you just
mm,
say foot on the clutch, you will at some point get that right foot on there.
yeah,
Guaranteed. At some
yeah.
point in your teaching, it might be in the first month.
I'd say if you had a learner every week, probably 1 out of 4 would probably put the wrong foot
Yeah.
on the pedal.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So those descriptive words are very, very important.
mm,
Like when we say brake, we don't just say brake, we say gently brake.
yeah,
And the way we say it, we gently brake.
yeah,
It's all like it massively helps.
yeah,
You'll find that out very quickly, PDIs. You're going to be getting whiplash very like a lot on these early lessons
yeah,
if you don't stick those descriptive words in.
yeah,
So
definitely.
left foot all the way down on the clutch.
Yeah.
Cool. So then we put the car into gear.
Do
So
we just ram it into gear,
yep.
or do you get them to do it in a certain way?
So I will ask the student just to put it in first gear,
Yeah,
and I'm looking to see if they, as you said, ramming it in, whether they've got some sort of finesse with it,
yeah,
whether it looks like they're going to be having issues. If not, I'm just going to let them just crack on
okay,
because I don't want to complicate things. Like I said before about last session, if you
mm,
watched it, with moving off and stopping, which we are talking about today, effectively, is I won't get them to do the observation straight away. I
okay.
want to keep it simple. Why tell them about palming technique if they don't need it?
Yeah. You're just making the lesson a lot longer.
Yeah.
The sitting on the side of the
Yep.
road, which they will start switching off from after
Yeah.
about 20, 25 minutes,
Yep.
unless you're super engaging. But even then,
Absolutely.
they want to get moving and if they can.
Definitely.
So yeah, don't if you don't need it,
Keep it simple.
keep it simple.
That's
Yeah,
it.
it's our
Good.
first driving school we worked
Ever
with.
word for, yeah?
Yeah, Kiss Driving School. So
Yeah.
if any of you from Kiss Driving School watching this,
Hi.
hey, and thank you, David Edishaw, for
Yep.
our training because we still use that now. He
Yes.
was one of the first people that helped us with our
Yeah.
training with the client-centered approach.
Yes.
So I don't think it was
Well, it
done
wasn't even a
much.
thing back then,
It wasn't
really.
even a thing, and
Yeah.
he sort of I wouldn't say invented it, but
One of
he
the first people to be doing it mainstream.
yeah,
Like
I think
really,
he was.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, good. So the other thing about the gears, I've had quite a few students over the years where they have come from other instructors that have insisted on the palming technique and they just can't get it.
Mm.
And I said, okay, well, just change gear, just like into first. Oh, they do it fine. I don't like they're grabbing the thing like, into two. Oh yeah, that's working. So I just let them just change
And then
gear.
just keep an eye on it over
Yeah,
the next lesson or two or three.
absolutely.
And then if you're getting if they're getting the wrong gear two or three times
Yeah.
every hour, then maybe we will backtrack a bit
Or
and
just for
practice the
their gear
palming
change.
technique. Yeah,
Yeah, just maybe from second to third, where they're
yeah,
just being grabby, and they go straight back to one.
yeah.
So I'll just like just for that one, just try it a little bit like this, or
Mm,
just grip it a little bit less. See if that helps. So I'll just introduce it where it's needed.
yeah,
So to try and keep it simple.
yeah. So don't be, yeah, like we said a minute ago, don't force palming technique on them
Hmm.
if they don't need it. If they're changing gear, fine.
Absolutely.
Just leave them to it. Yeah.
Good.
Same with the crossing the hands that we spoke about last week.
Yeah.
Just let
Have
them
you ever had any learners trying to change gear with their right hand?
with their right hand. Um,
I've had one
no,
or
I'm
two.
sure there's a joke in there
No,
somewhere,
no, not
but
at all. No, I've been doing doing a lesson, and I say, okay, let's put it into first gear, and they'll lean across, and it's happened a couple of times in 20
okay.
minutes. Yeah.
I've had the handbrake going off with that hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Or
they've
two
done
hands.
yeah,
Yeah, two hands is quite common.
yeah,
Good. Yeah, I just thought I'd chuck that in.
yeah,
So we're going to put the car into gear, and then we then need to. Depends on the car now, doesn't it?
yeah. Oh, this should be one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
So do
let
you
us know.
get your student to set the gas at all? And if you do get them to set the gas, do you get them to set it before or after you found the
Yeah.
bike?
Oh, I think this is very art dependent.
Yep.
Um, yeah, yeah, to me, like diesel cars with a lot of torque,
Yep.
especially the slightly bigger engine ones, you don't need a biting point. You don't need to set the gas.
Yep.
The biting point is ample. Right foot
Yes.
over the gas. Once you release the handbrake and you start moving, you apply a bit of gas and you go.
Yes.
Small engine petrol,
Hmm.
probably going to need to set the gas pedal.
Good. So, what do you do? I know I do it. Actually, I'll tell you what I do and see if you do the
Yeah.
same. If I know I've got a student with a car at home that they need the gas to pull away, I will get them to do it on my diesel car, even though they
Yes.
don't need to. You do
100.
that?
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
used to. Yeah, I do auto now, but
Yeah.
yeah, I used to do that.
Yeah.
I used to get them to set the gas because I know it's going to help them in their car
Yes.
when they go out, and their accompanying driver
Hmm.
may not be able to deal with the change. So
Absolutely.
I change how I do it
Yeah.
to suit their car.
So,
So ultimately, they'll be driving their own car more
absolutely.
than our car.
Yes.
So
And what we don't want is that mum or dad deciding, oh, this driving instructor isn't teaching them very well. He's not teaching them to set the gas.
mm,
Let's go find a new one.
yeah,
Or phoning us up saying, why haven't you taught them to set the gas?
mm,
So this sort of thing. So it's making your life easier. It's making the students' lives easier when they transition. It's keeping the parents happy, which a lot of the time they're paying your wages.
mm,
So you've got to keep them happy as well as the
yeah,
learner next to you. So it's all of these things from a business point of view, as well as a teaching point of view, you've got to consider.
yeah,
So yeah, that's partly what we're here for as well. We're not just talking about how to do POM, but we're talking about like how to run your business effectively
yeah.
in ways.
Yeah, and I often, if I am changing my teaching style to suit their car and vice versa, I say, if your mum or dad want to give me a call or a WhatsApp,
Yeah.
they can, and I can explain to them because they're going to be taking you out probably more than what I am.
Yes.
I can just have a 10-15 minute conversation with them on the phone,
Hmm.
and it saves so much heartache down the road and
Yeah.
headaches of them going, you're not teaching them this or you are teaching them that. And the learner in the middle, it's like Chinese whispers.
Yes.
It's like that learner's not portrayed what the mum said properly to me. And I'm like, no. And then
Hmm.
it goes back and forth. So sometimes I say, get your mum to phone me,
Yeah.
or I say, is your mum in or dad in?
How
And
many
I have a
times have
chat.
you had mum and dad sit in the back?
Quite a lot, actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've asked to sit in the back
Yep.
where it's probably put the learner off quite a lot.
Hmm.
But if I had that conversation, so I know they're probably sitting in the back
Hmm.
because maybe they don't trust what I'm doing
Yeah.
because I didn't have that conversation with the parent or
Yeah.
company driver beforehand.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, definitely. If they're going to be going out in their own car and
Hmm.
mum and dad will be sitting next to them a lot,
Yeah.
have a chat with the mum and
Yeah.
dad. It's going to help.
And don't be afraid to have mum and dad sit in the back as well. It's a good opportunity for you to give them a bit of advice.
Hmm.
Like if you're taking out a learner driver and you don't have the dual controls, rather than saying stop at the end of the road, maybe say brake. Because if you say stop, the learner's got to compute how to stop the car
Yes.
by pressing the brake. If you say the word brake, their foot knows how to brake
Yeah.
or brake to stop.
Yeah.
And then just give little advice like that to the parents about
Mm.
how to manage the situation of teaching a learner.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so we have done clutch down.
Yeah. Clutch down.
We've put it into gear.
We put it into gear.
We've discussed a little bit about setting the gas before finding the bike.
Yeah.
Oh, shall we talk about how to describe the biting point?
The bite point. Okay. Yeah. It's an interesting one.
There's lots of ways to describe it.
Yes.
We've some of you might have seen like the whole hands, like the two clutch plates.
I find that. Yeah. I find that the one of the easiest ones.
Yep,
Yeah.
good. There is a video. We'll put a link below. We've done a whole video on like moving off and stopping, so we'll let you watch that. How else do you describe the biting point to learners? Do you have any other different things you describe? You
No, I
do?
mean some of them. I like the whole hand thing, but I think sometimes they can switch off from it.
Yep.
You can tell, can't you,
Yes.
when you're describing it, and even if you're trying to keep it really basic,
Mhm.
like the engine is this side, this is the wheels, yeah, and the wheel engine's getting closer to the wheels and they rub, they still switch off. So the other easiest way of doing it is the biting point is effectively when you're just putting pressure on someone. So if you're stood in front of me
Yep.
and I wanted to push you over,
Yep.
I'd push you really hard.
Yep.
I don't want to push you over. I just want to put some gentle pressure on. I'm just applying some gentle pressure on you.
I like that. I've
And
never used that one.
that is the biting point.
Okay.
The biting point is when I'm just literally applying some gentle pressure on you,
Yep.
but it's not enough to make you fall over or take a step.
Yep.
It's just enough and you can feel it.
Yep.
And that is my easy one if I find they're switching off
Okay.
from the more complex
There you go. Every day's
one.
a school day. I've learned something there, Doug.
Oh, there you are.
I've absolutely learned something. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, because
Um,
it's breaking it right down
yes.
into something they 100% understand.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. We can describe like the biting point being like pouring Coke, pouring a pint.
Yep.
Yep. So once you've got the bite, it's like you're pouring Coke into a can. You tilt the glass, you hold it still for a while whilst it fills up so it doesn't fizz.
Mm,
If you pour too fast or you stand the cup up too fast, it fizzes.
yeah.
So we slowly bring that glass up as we're pouring, and that's how we bring the clutch up very,
Yeah.
very gently.
That helps avoid a stall.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Snaps a fold of froth.
Yeah.
Froth.
Yeah, another stall. Again, we've got all these different ways of
Yeah.
doing it, but it's good because you have, like Ian said, different ways of
Well,
explaining
I've just
things.
learned something
Yeah,
from you,
yeah,
and so these people watching, like if you're watching and you've never heard this, go
yeah.
away and use it. I had another thing that I learned from a PDI that I sat in the back of a lesson this morning, which I can share in a minute.
Okay, cool.
But every day is a school day, so that's two things I've learned
Yeah,
today.
yeah. Another one of the stalling is if you were going to push a car with
Yes.
your hands,
Oh yeah, I
you
think I know
apply
this one.
gentle pressure,
Yep.
and then as you push harder, the car will start to move.
Yep.
Now I say, what's going to happen if you just run full pelt with your hands out in front of you?
Yep.
You're just going to run into the back of the car
Yep.
and fall on the floor.
Yes.
Is the engine stalling?
Yes.
So you need to put pressure and get it moving. You
That's it.
can't just go lift the clutch up and run full pelt to the back of a car. You're going to fall on the floor.
That wasn't the one I was expecting you to say,
Yeah,
and that is one I've used in the past. One I use as well about using a bit of gas
yeah,
is like you could push a car along from behind on your own, couldn't you?
yeah,
Just about, it'd be like pressure.
yeah,
But if you had 10 of your mates helping, you better push that car really easily, wouldn't you?
yeah,
So pressing the gas pedal is like having a load of your mates helping you push that car along.
yeah,
So
yeah. And the more mates you have, the faster you're going to push it.
that's it.
Yeah,
The quicker you can get it going because you've got more power from your mates.
yeah.
So yeah.
To get it going. Yeah. So there's all these different ways,
Yep.
and you will know when your learner gets it
Yep.
because then you will open up, and go,
Yep.
and vice versa. You know when they're not getting it,
Yes.
they start switching off or start looking out the window.
Hmm.
And you know then to change your teaching technique
Yep.
because that's just you're going nowhere with that. That's just
Yep.
dead ground then, and to
Yes.
change the style a little
So
bit.
I've got a question for you, Doug.
Yeah.
I learned something years ago when I taught one of our instructors, Jamie, to be a driving instructor.
Okay. Hey
Um,
Jamie, if you're watching.
hello. So how if your learner's got a bite that's too strong,
Yeah.
how do you describe to get it like that too strongness and to get it right?
Well, how to fix it once it's too strong?
Yeah, and how it should feel when it is right.
How it should feel. Okay. Well, to fix it, then I do increments of a pound coin,
Yep.
thickness of a pound coin,
Yep.
because well, I say most people know. I heard a fact that only 8% of transactions done last year were in cash, all the rest were contactless.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
So
we might not be able to use the thickness of a pound coin
how
soon.
much longer?
I
What's
did hear it
pound
on the
coin?
radio, yeah.
Yeah.
So whether it was true or not, I don't know, but it was 8 or 9% of
Yeah.
transactions were done in cash
Nice.
compared to contactless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or with card. So yeah,
So
normally
so the thickness of 2 debit cards.
the thickness of 2 debit cards, yeah. So what we're to do is if the biting point is too strong,
Yep.
the way you'd feel that, well, you guys know, it
Mhm.
rumbles. How I would tell a learner in a fun
So
way
what I learned from
would
Jamie all
be,
those years ago
yeah,
is it's like having a dog on the lead. If
yeah.
you've got a big German Shepherd, the car ready, it's trying to go, or you've got a little Chihuahua on the lead, right? You can feel a
Uh,
little bit of pressure, but it's not much.
yeah,
So you want to get a bite that feels like a Chihuahua,
not a German
not a
Shepherd.
German Shepherd.
Okay, no, there you go.
There you go.
Every day's a school
Yeah,
day.
I think Tim and Doug
And
learned
I've
that.
not, I've
Yeah.
never learned anything from Jamie. So that's the first one.
Through the text messages.
I'll find out if he's watched this now.
Yeah, that's it.
But no, that's a good way of putting
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
You want a biting point like a Chihuahua, you can feel the pressure it's pulling,
Yeah.
but not as much as a German Shepherd
Yes.
that's really going to start making you move.
Absolutely.
Good.
Good. So we've got the car all the way up to being ready to go. There's
Yeah,
maybe 2 more things we could add to be preparing.
yeah.
Where should our hands be?
Hands, that's a good one because I can guarantee your learner's hands will not be where they should be.
Yep.
They'll be on their lap or wherever.
Hmm.
So yeah, you obviously want your right hand on the steering wheel,
Obviously.
obviously. Yeah. Well, it's obviously because we're talking to instructors
Of
now. So
course.
it
Yes.
is
I don't
obviously.
know if they're a PDI though.
PDI, I would hope they would know to put a hand on the steering wheel. So you should have your right hand on the steering wheel
Yep.
and you should have your left hand on the handbrake.
Good. Good. So the car is now fully prepared.
Yep.
It's ready to go. All I can do is take the handbrake off and go.
Yep.
And now let's deep dive into another controversial bit of
Yep.
observations, shall we, Doug?
Observations.
Yes,
Yes.
so there's lots of opinions about observations.
Yeah.
So let's break this down. Hopefully you're finding this useful. If you are, please like and subscribe, press the cowbell, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. If
It's
you're
really helpful.
rewatching, throw your questions or
Yes,
your thoughts in the comments as
yes.
you're watching.
So, and you might be watching this and thinking, I know all of this, I know all of this, but like we said, we've been teaching 20 years, and today I've learned 2 things.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's going to be a third soon. Doug's going to teach you something else.
Yeah. Maybe.
So every day is a school day. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to deep dive in a discussion way
Yeah.
into these like the points of POM. So when you go away, you've got more knowledge and more information to deal with all the different types of learning needs out
Yeah.
there.
And as we progress through this podcast and things,
Hmm.
hopefully we're going to get some more chat and discussion going
Yeah.
on. So that'll be really cool as well.
Yes. So yeah, if you do have any questions, do ask them.
Yeah.
So Doug, observations. Let's
Yes.
break this down as deep as we can
Yeah.
with a
Okay.
great big
Shovel.
shovel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big hole.
So yeah. So I tend to do,
Yep.
which I don't. I know a lot of people don't like, even some examiners,
Yep.
is a 6-point check
Mhm.
before we move off.
Yes.
Now, caveat.
Hmm.
It is 6-point check, but when we're going for test,
Yep.
this is done very not briskly, not rushed, but
Yep.
done more fluently whilst preparing the car.
Yes.
So we're not sat there for literally 10, 15 seconds going through every single mirror
Yeah.
like that. But to start with, on a first driving lesson, yeah, it will take us 15 seconds or more
Yep.
to go through each mirror.
So on that point, if you are a PDI, learn to look after your car.
Mm.
If you've got your learner and you've got them prepared, and now you've got them on the biting point, and now you're chatting to them about this observation, and it's taken them forever, maybe do a few practice ones before you get the bite.
Yeah.
So that when we do get the bite for the time we're going to move off, we can then do it a bit more efficiently,
Yeah.
and we're not wearing the clutch out on your car so quickly.
Yeah, if anything, that's a definite. So when
Well, yeah,
we've
yeah.
talked about the biting point,
Yep.
is now before observations is do 5 or 6 practice biting points.
Yeah, yeah. Totally.
And bring them up to the bite.
Yep.
Bring them up to the Alsatian pull.
Yep.
Up a thickness of a pound coin. Can you feel that? Good. Now press the clutch back down a thickness of a pound coin.
Down
And
to
then
the
we're back
Chihuahua.
down to the Chihuahua pull.
Yep.
And get them experiencing so they know actually what it feels like.
Hmm.
Rather than just, oh, that was good, get down, observations and go.
Yeah, it's good.
So
It's
show
good.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, I quite often demonstrate with the dual controls what it feels like to start with as well.
Yeah.
So let me show you an Alsatian. Let me show you a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
This is how it should feel. This is how it shouldn't feel.
Yeah,
Like, watch my feet. Look how much how you can barely see my foot move between the Alsatian and between the Chihuahua. It's such a
but
small
yeah,
movement.
well, if anything, the foot doesn't actually move. You just adjust the pressure on the pedal.
Yes.
So rather than saying move your foot,
Hmm.
because that's gonna mean an actual foot movement,
Yep.
I just want you to adjust your pressure on the pedal,
Hmm.
and then that's all you need sometimes to go from an Alsatian pull to the Chihuahua pull.
That's it. You're going to use that later. Oh no,
I
you
am
can't.
going to use it.
You've got an auto. You can't.
I do auto now. Yeah, I've retired from manual instructor. I've been doing it so many years now.
Yeah.
I'm going into semi-retirement and doing auto teaching. But
So
no, do those dry runs,
yes.
because if they don't know what to expect, don't know what an Alsatian pull is,
Hmm.
then they're not going to learn. So they
Yes.
need to know what that is.
Yep.
Yeah, and what
Good. So why do we start with a 6-point check, and why don't we just go and do what the examiners expect as a minimum of centre mirror, right,
I
right
don't think,
shoulder?
to be honest, I don't think it's overly safe
Okay.
just doing that.
Yep.
If I'm being honest,
Hmm.
it's quick, it's brisk, mirror, centre mirror, and right shoulder.
Yep.
But you can miss so much on that left-hand side.
Hmm.
And I hear them all saying now, watching this, it's on your left-hand side. Doesn't matter,
Yep.
but it does,
It does.
because, like, well, you give me a couple of reasons
Well,
then.
yeah. So
So
I've been teaching 20 years. There's been
yeah,
at least 5 or 6 times where if I hadn't have started from our left shoulder, there would have been some sort of altercation,
mm,
whether it's instantly jumping on the brakes again as this cyclist jumps onto the pavement in front of us that was came from our left blind spot,
yeah,
or the person that came out of the house and the gate next to the car just behind our driving situation. Like, we wouldn't see that. And they literally walk straight in front of the car. And yeah, and you might say, well, we're going to look forward before we go, but if we still haven't checked that left blind spot, and if they're running, they're straight onto the road in front of us, and we have to then brake hard or hit them.
we can see the situation
Developing.
potentially happening, developing
Yep.
before it gets there. So rather than being reactive,
Yep.
yeah,
You're being
yeah,
proactive.
you're being proactive.
Yeah.
So you're doing that 6-point check, and as you've looked over from the left shoulder, you're like, that
Oh.
person's opening their gate and they've got a dog with them, okay,
Yep.
and they carry on and I finish up, but I'm aware it's
Yep.
not then a surprise. As I look forward, aha,
Ah,
there
it
they
is
are.
there. I'm
They
gonna.
are there.
Yeah. I'm gonna
And
pause.
yeah,
Yeah.
and to start with, yes, it is going to take your learner a while to do the 6-point check.
Hmm.
But as they develop, like with all their driving skills,
Yes.
it becomes second nature and rote to them, and they'll just do it as they go.
Yes.
And another classic is the cyclist.
Yep.
You see it all the time. They come cycling along and they just jump off the curb in front of you.
Yep.
It might be once in a year it happens, but
Hmm.
that once in a year, if you
Yeah.
knock someone off their bike, then it
Absolutely.
doesn't matter.
I've said it before, driving is about managing risk, and it might be a 0.001% chance of you seeing something in that left blind spot. But if you're driving for 20 years or you're driving regularly, that 0.1% chance is going to
Mm,
come up eventually, and you're going to be happy you did it. So why not spend that extra half a second adding those observations in every time
yeah.
you move off and just making it routine?
And let us know in the comments if you disagree with it. Like we
Yeah,
said, we love a debate, we
yeah.
love a chat. So yeah, let us know your thoughts and feelings.
Absolutely, and as Doug said, they will get much quicker at it later in their lessons,
Mm,
to the point where actually we're preparing whilst observing and merging together. As long as we're prepared by the time we finish our observations, they can do them together.
yeah,
It's
because
not a
it
problem.
takes them that long to, yeah,
Yeah,
right. If they're preparing a car, it will take them the same amount of time to do
exactly.
that 6-point check.
They'll get to the point where that's so natural they can do them
Yeah,
together, as we do as experienced drivers.
yeah. And if you're not aware what the 6-point check is, if you're a new PDI,
Yes.
we have got the left blind spot,
Yep.
left door mirror, out the front, centre mirror, right door mirror, and the right blind spot.
Absolutely. If you've watched any of our other videos, like particularly like the mock, like the full like test route ones I've
Mm,
done, you'll see the graphics on the screen. I call it almost like a 360 check. So we're checking from the left side, just doing a
mm.
sweep all the way around the
Yeah,
car. Because I'm an experienced driver and I can do it quickly, that's more what it feels like. It's a because we can process that information quicker. That learner needs to learn, what am I looking for there? What am I looking for there?
yeah.
What am I looking for there? What am I looking for there? What am I looking for there?
Mm.
And what am I looking for there? So the first to start with, it's going to
Well,
be
they've got to
really, really slow.
process the image.
Yes.
They've got to look in the mirror. Like, to us, we're experienced drivers. I mean,
Hmm.
don't take that for granted. That we just look in the mirror and we know what we're looking at.
Yeah.
They look in the mirror and their eyes have got to like focus, and they've got to
Hmm.
process actually what that
What's going
is
on?
mirrored
Yeah.
to them,
Where
because
is
it's a
that
mirror.
compared to us?
Yeah, where is that compared to us? And they've got to focus. Okay, so it's going to take them that little bit longer.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool.
Good. So that's a little bit of observation there.
Observations, yeah.
Good. Anything else to add on that?
Not add on to it, just the next part, which is
Yeah.
the flashing amber light.
Yeah.
Do we
Good.
need to? Do we? Should we?
Good.
What do you guys think?
Well, yeah. So doing that signal, and that actually leads on to a little bit of the observations about teaching the learners what we are looking for, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then what we're looking for will then determine whether there was a need for a signal.
Okay.
So how do we teach the learners what to look for in these mirrors?
Well, yeah. Is there anything moving? It's,
Yep.
it's the moving hazards, I guess,
Hmm.
really, or static ones.
Yep.
But yeah, you're just looking for anything, like cars coming towards us,
Hmm. Yep.
cyclists. The list goes on.
It does.
Someone that's been sat in their car, you may have noticed,
Good.
and then suddenly the headlights come on, so then you know they're probably going to be moving off soon. So they've just switched the engine on.
Yep.
If we're deep diving into
Hmm.
stuff that you need to look out for,
Well, yeah, I sometimes with my learners, I say like this is a 1 in a million hazard, but it's something we're looking for.
yeah,
And then I say, what's the day-to-day hazard? What are we going to see 50% of the time?
yeah,
So what's the thing we're looking out for the
the most
most when we're putting away
common,
from
yeah,
the road? What is that?
yeah. Cars coming up from behind.
Good.
That's going to be our main one that we're worrying about.
Yeah, people coming from behind,
Yeah,
people crossing the road in
it's
front
going
of
to
us.
be a factor in us moving off or
Good.
not.
So if there's a car behind us, how can we help that learner judge if it's far enough away for us to go, or if it's too close and we're going to wait for them?
Again, it's another thing us experienced drivers take for granted, isn't it?
Yes.
Again, we can just look in that distance, look at the car and go, yeah. Remember, that learner can't do that.
No.
They've got no perception probably of speed like that.
Yeah.
So you need to give them a
Yep.
point.
Yes.
You need to give them a point. So
Yep.
you say, well, if there was a vehicle closer than that blue car,
Yep.
then we need to wait. If
Mhm.
it's further than that blue car,
That's
as
it.
long as it's not speeding,
Yep.
then we should be able to move off in front of them.
Against judging if they're speeding or not is a skill that takes time to develop, isn't it?
Yeah, they can't just look and then know. I mean,
Yes.
you could maybe relate it into have they were crossing the road? Well,
Yep.
obviously,
Well,
uh,
yeah. So that's the one thing
yeah,
that hopefully they've done quite a lot up to this point
and
is
haven't been
crossing the road.
injured.
Yes. Absolutely. I always ask that question. Do you good at crossing the road?
Yeah.
No, I nearly got run over last week. Actually.
S-
Okay. They've
Some of
said it.
them say, "No, I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not good at crossing the
I
road."
only cross when my friend crosses.
Yeah,
I've had that. Yep.
yeah, and then you know, ha, here we are. We're
Yeah.
gonna have a live wire here on a merging.
Yes.
But it's the question,
Yeah.
and then you know, rather than getting them to do an emerge,
Mm.
and you're thinking, why can't you judge it?
Yeah.
You know, it's a skill they've never really learnt properly
Yeah.
from being young,
Yep.
and it's that you're going to have to help them out a little bit more with.
Yeah. That's it. Definitely. Good.
Yeah,
So we decide if we're going to signal or not. So let's talk about the signal because there's quite a lot to talk about with that, really,
yeah.
isn't there?
Do we have to?
Quite good
Shall we
question.
do it all the time?
Good question. So if it's a learner, could they signal away from the road every time when it's clear?
To be honest, I sometimes get my learners to do it all the time just to build that skill into them.
Cool.
I let them know later on down the line,
Hmm.
we may not have to signal all the time.
Hmm.
There is a rule that if there's no one to benefit, then we don't have to.
Yep.
But to get the whole routine into them,
Yep.
a lot of the time I
Get the
get them
signal.
I get them just to signal.
Why would we consider not signaling when we're pulling away from the side of the road? What advantages are there to not signaling in the scenario of a driving lesson or driving test?
Well, test or real life?
Test or lessons?
Test or
Test
lesson?
and lessons. What's
Test
what's the advantage of them not signaling in a test or lesson?
test, I would say to probably hit some brownie points for the examiner.
Yep.
Yeah, which we shouldn't really take into account. So we're meant to be teaching more safe driving, but
Hmm.
yeah, the rule book it says you do not have to signal when moving off from the side of the road if no one's going to benefit from it.
Yes.
So if sometimes you move off from the side of the road, or your learner does and doesn't signal, the examiner's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, they've actually taken in their surroundings. They know they don't have to.
That's it.
They know the rules.
Good.
But there is no harm in signalling all the time,
No.
unless it's misleading. But
Yes.
very rarely it's probably going to be misleading if you're from the side of the road.
Yep. So what situations might it be misleading? And then I've got another question after that.
Okay, if there's a junction
Yep.
next to you,
Yeah.
but then you can get away with that with the three blipper.
Yes. So
So
should we be parked opposite a junction?
we should be parked opposite a junction in the first place. So
Like
that's
we're allowed 10 meters, aren't we? So we
yeah.
could be 10 meters away from one on the right.
But a 3 blip on the indicator, it would be off before anyone thinks you're turning in.
Would you put that signal on if there was a car waiting to pull out of that junction?
Well, no, you probably wouldn't pull away then, because that goes into moving off. You
Yep.
wouldn't move off in the first place. So if there's someone to see you
Yep.
when you move off, you're not going to be going anyway. So it's not going to be misleading
Yep.
because because you're not pulling away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
That's it.
so it goes back to my thing of it. Very rarely it's going to be a misleading signal when you pull off.
Yes, because you're only going to go when it's clear.
Yeah.
Yep. Good. So my other question was,
That's complicated.
oh, it's gone out of my head.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. We were talking about signals, weren't we?
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Rewind.
Rewind. It will come back to me.
Yeah.
Signals. Austerity. No, okay, we'll come back to me.
Mm.
So, we're talking about signals. What's next with signals?
Signals. So that's about it. Obviously, get them practicing where it is. A lot of
Yep.
the time, if you haven't shown them, it seems simple again because we're advanced. Show them where that indicator is. Get
Mhm.
them practicing. They will go for the wipers otherwise.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
So, although we teach them potentially on that first lesson where the indicators are and stuff, how many times have you, on the first time you've gone to signal right, have they put the wipers on?
Yeah.
Because they think the left one's on the left side, the right one's on the right side.
And it's understandable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fully
Yeah.
understandable.
And yeah. So, if they do it, I'm sure you don't because you're all very nice people. But don't have a go at them. Don't call
Laugh
them
it off.
stupid.
Yeah.
Laugh it off.
Yeah.
Just say it's not raining yet, but well done. That's one of the show me tell me
That's
questions.
it.
So
Now you know where the wiper blades are. Well, just
and
make
and
light of it.
have a laugh of it because you don't want them to feel anxious
Yep.
and like you're judging them.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, nothing bad's going to happen from putting a wiper on.
That's it.
And remember, you're in control of the car, so yeah, you
Absolutely.
can always flick the signal on for them if you
If
have
needed.
to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if needed.
Good. So we've done the signal.
Yeah.
We've put it on. What about should we put the signal on if there's lots of cars coming? Like sometimes you see cars put their signal on to wait and then wait for a gap. How should we ever do that? What we might call a begging signal.
A begging signal, like it. No,
No, it's
no.
never an acceptable time to do a begging signal.
There is
When is it?
when you have traffic queued up behind you and they're probably waiting for you.
Potentially good.
Yeah, so then you signal move off because you're the one being a hazard by
Yeah.
stopping on the left-hand
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
So sometimes you indicate and then move.
Yeah. So
and
what
move
I
on.
call that
Yeah.
is unblocking, like taking the block away.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're blocking all the traffic, or they can't go past us because the
So you
oncoming
would
cars.
indicate when there's someone
Good.
behind you,
Because
and
there's no
that's
cars coming past in front, and there's just a whole line of cars coming. Can we do the begging signal?
Got me going. Yes. No, well, it depends for how long,
Yeah.
because how long is that stream of cars?
Yeah.
If it's going and going and going, because there are some roads, and we all know this out there,
Yeah.
that they're just constant,
Mhm.
and it's a big stream of cars. You're not going to be worrying anyone because they're all following each other quite close. You
Yeah.
can put the signal on.
It's an
and
interesting
people
one.
know.
Do you remember, Doug? This is really you have to open some of these filing cabinets in your brain. We're
Oh,
going
wow.
back to about 2008, 9-ish.
They're all rusty shut.
Rusty shut.
I had a bath since then.
Definitely rusty. So back in about 2008-ish, me and Doug did our trailer license
Yeah.
because we're young enough not to have grandfather rights
Yeah.
for a trailer, and we wanted to teach trailers. We booked our trailer test for the same day, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I went first, and we had Adam, who was working for us at the
Yeah.
time, and he was doing trailer lessons, and he wanted to sit in the back of the lesson and of the test. So I went first. I had Adam in the back, and I had Doug in the back.
Makes
The art
sense.
examiner, he's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was 8:30 in the morning. I had the first test. There's a reason why I went first, but we'll talk about that later. But basically, we were pulled over on the side of the road. There's four of us, and we're not slight people, in this Renault Clio with a trailer on the back that was huge.
And the trailers had to be weighted for
Yeah.
a test
And
as
do you
well.
remember the story now?
No.
So basically, we've pulled over on the left in a safe, convenient place. I've pulled over, and I've pulled over probably 30 meters past a junction. There's a queue of traffic going along the road, constant.
Mm.
Every time there was a gap in the traffic, guess who filled it? the car from the junction behind us.
Yes.
I was literally sat there for about 3 or 4 minutes waiting for a gap to get out. The examiner at the end said, "Why don't you just put your signal on? Like, get somebody to let you out." I'm like, "Well, because like that's a begging signal. We shouldn't do that."
Yeah.
But he said, "Well, it's quite clear that you were never ever going to get a gap.
Yeah.
There's a constant queue of traffic, and every time there was a gap, the cars from the queue in the junction behind us was taking that gap. So we had to put a begging signal on."
Yeah. That's
So
good. Yeah.
good
Yeah.
example.
But you're not going to. The reason why we don't signal when a car's coming because we don't want to scare them.
Yes.
So that would be, yeah, if the car is, say, like 4 or 5 car lengths back from us,
Yeah.
and they suddenly see a signal, they're going to
Hmm.
worry you're putting out in front of them.
Yeah.
But if you're in a queue of cars, just one after the other, you putting a signal on it, you're not going to worry.
Shouldn't scare them,
Yeah,
especially if they're
shouldn't
unaware.
scare them. Yeah.
So there are situations where a begging signal is acceptable. But generally, I would say 99% of the time, we should probably be waiting for a gap, shouldn't we?
And we would only explain this probably to our learner later on down the line.
Yes.
Again, we don't want to bombard them with
Hmm.
so much information and all these caveats.
Yep.
So that's why I just say
Hmm.
we indicate when we move off.
Yes.
And then just to keep it simple.
Yep.
And then as we progress through, then I give them some caveats. Again, like the
Yep.
puzzles where we talked about last week.
Yep.
I just give them that, and then I'll fill in the middle bits later on down the line.
Yep.
And I let my learner know this as well, because I'm saving my impact. Again, business sort of talk. I say there's a lot of things I teach you, and your mum or dad will say, but what about if this happens?
Hmm.
I've not forgotten to tell you. I'm just not giving you all the pieces yet. I'm
Yep.
just giving you the edge bits, all the stuff you need for now.
So this is Doug's puzzle analogy. To
Yeah,
start with, we're just going around the edges. We're getting all the pieces of the
yeah.
straight edges. And then eventually, the day we pass our test, we're going to put the last piece of the puzzle
Mm.
in, or hopefully be just before the test, and everything will make sense.
Yeah, it's so easy to try and impress them with all your
Yeah.
knowledge, isn't
But if
it?
you give them too many puzzle pieces, they're like, "Whoa."
Yeah, and then it all goes wrong.
Yes,
They'll be able to put the edge bits together a lot easier if the little information. But I do tell them I have not given you all this information.
definitely.
Um, so yeah, basically you're saving your own back
Yeah.
because you don't want them all talking like,
Hmm.
"Oh, my instructor didn't tell me I didn't have to signal when I moved off."
Yeah.
I've already given them the caveat of
Yes.
I
It
will
will come
give
in
you,
time.
it will come in time. I'm just giving you the bits to help you.
But managing expectation, isn't it?
Man, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
very important.
Good. Good. So we've done observations now. We've done the signal.
Yeah, done the signal.
Very deep dived into those three.
Another little handy tip
Yes, go
when you're
for it.
holding the biting point and then between the observations,
Yep.
make sure you say keep your foot still
Yes.
because their foot will follow their eyes, like
Yep.
their hands follow their eyes. So as they start doing this round,
Hmm.
their foot will come off as it goes. So
Yep.
you want to mention to them before it goes wrong, keep your foot still
Yep.
whilst doing the observations.
So are you a heel on the carpet or not person?
Depends on how big their feet are.
Absolutely. Good.
I do try to.
Yep.
Um, their heel on the floor
Hmm.
because you get a much better pivot with the pedal.
Good.
Um, I normally show them. I say if your foot is up in the air, I don't know if you can see that, and then you try and move it down a little bit, you're pivoting from your hip,
Yeah.
and
Good.
you got a lot of movement.
Higher, Doug. Higher.
There you go.
Higher.
I mean,
Higher.
I can't
Higher.
fix
You are
that.
that flexible. There we go. You sort of on there.
Yeah. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
Totally.
can't have any finesse over a pedal when you're pivoting from the hip with too much movement.
Hmm.
But when your heel's on the floor, you've got much more finesse and control over your foot.
So again, a bit like palming technique.
Yep.
It's not a problem if they don't, though, is it?
No.
If they can do it perfectly fine and they're happy not to,
Yeah.
then why force it on them?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. It's like another like weapon in your armory.
Mm.
You've got it there if you need it, but if you don't need it, don't confuse things.
Mm. I remember when I was PDI and going through, I had this girl that always used to stall.
Yeah.
But because I was a PDI more, I was looking out the front window and I
Mhm.
wasn't looking at them and what
Yeah.
they were doing. And they kept stalling. I kept saying, like, slowly with the clutch, do the clutch slowly.
Hmm.
And it wasn't until I looked down and I saw her heel up in the air and she
Yeah.
was doing that and she couldn't, and the force of the clutch was pushing it back,
Yeah.
her foot. And I was like, I've got to put her heel down, fix it.
There you go.
But that took like 3 lessons or whatever it was. But
Miracle just happened. You remember something from 20 years?
no, I know, yeah, I do remember that.
You
Yeah.
got them WD-4.
And
It's filing.
I
cabinets.
remember what she looked like, and
Yeah.
I can picture me sat in the car doing it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I bet you can't remember her name though.
No. Can't remember the wife's name. So, oh dear, she's watching. Yeah. But yeah, so if you are a PDI, do look at your pupil and look down at their feet
Yes.
because that was a penny drop for me.
Yeah.
I didn't admit that to her. Like,
Yep.
oh, yeah, I should have noticed this like 3 lessons ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, her foot was doing that. And as soon as I got to keep her heel on the floor,
Good.
the stalling was fixed.
Good.
And it will take you a while, like the learners, you PDIs, it will take you a while to finesse your techniques in
Yeah.
learning.
Definitely.
So you're not going to get it all straight away.
There's so much to look at that PDI. As you said, you're looking out the window more because you're thinking about what's
You're
my
worried
learner
about
going
the
to hit.
road.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're worried about the road,
Yeah.
aren't you? Yeah. And after a few years, you'll notice yourself turning your seat
Yeah.
and you'll focus at them and you'll be out, your peripheral vision will be
Yes.
more out the
If
road
you're
there.
in control of the learner, you're in control of the car.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's it.
Good. So can we move on to move now?
Um, yeah, why not? I'll let you.
Thanks. So moving off. So we've done our preparation.
Yeah,
We've done our observation.
yeah,
We've decided if we need a signal.
yeah.
How do we move?
How do we move?
We sort of covered it a little
Hocus
bit with some of the things we
pocus,
said.
car move. The new Tesla command. Yeah,
Okay. Nice. It's,
yeah,
driverless cars.
yeah.
Good.
Um,
So we talked a little bit about like pouring poke, like once
yeah.
we've taken that handbrake off, we're gonna slowly tilt that glass up. We've done a few of those things.
Yeah, we've done a few practice with handbrake releases, I guess, with the
Yep,
learner on the controls side of
definitely.
things, so they
Hmm.
know how to release a handbrake.
Yep. With the handbrake, like controversial, I don't tell them how to take the handbrake off. I'm like, just take the handbrake off.
And see what
See if
they
they
do.
can do it. If they can't do it, I'll teach them.
Yeah,
If they can do it, I don't complicate things.
yeah,
Keep it so simple,
yeah,
as simple as
yeah.
possible.
Like I said before, it's so easy just to throw all your knowledge at them all
Yeah.
in one go and try and impress them because
Hmm.
we are the all-knowing to beings,
Yeah.
aren't we? And we want to show how good we are.
Yep.
When actually, what will benefit more is just keeping it
Yeah. Keep
simple,
it
some
simple.
basics.
Like, do you know? Even ask them. Do you know how to take the handbrake off? And they're, oh yeah, I do it for my dad all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's brilliant. Okay,
Okay.
nice one.
Nice. Let's go.
Yeah. Remember, a lot of modern cars now have got the electronic handbrake,
Yep.
so that part of the job's probably getting a bit easier,
Yes.
because they're releasing themselves.
Yep.
Um, yeah. So
Definitely. So then we're going to move off from the side of the road.
yeah,
Taking the handbrake off. Our left hand has returned to the wheel and it's put the signal on if we've needed it.
yeah.
What do we do then?
But you probably need to quantify some steering with them
Okay.
because when you move off, they're going to be worried. It's the first time they've gone out driving.
Yep.
They're like this, rock
Yeah.
solid on
Right
the
enough.
steering
Right.
wheel. And where you're in a park position, you're very close to the curb.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just let them move off and you've not quantified any type of steering with them,
Yep.
chances are you might have a curved alloy or you're going to have to grab the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
You grabbing the wheel, going to make them nervous. It's
Yep.
going to put a bit of a downer on their lesson, even if you've told them not to worry. So
Yep.
by being a bit proactive, by quantifying some steering with them, will help them along the route to moving off.
Sounds good. Again, I quite often, with my years of experience now, I will just let them drive off.
Yeah,
If I get a feeling like they haven't known a lot of other things, like they haven't known about how to do the handbrake off, then I'm thinking, okay, maybe I need to quantify the steering before we go on this one.
mm,
And I'm using my experience with that. I just like an experienced driver anticipates better than a new driver.
yeah,
An experienced instructor will anticipate better because we've got experience. It's just natural. So I will quite often just say, okay, handbrake off. Let's just come away from the curb gently
yeah,
and just see what they do.
mhm,
And just go from there.
yeah. That
It
works.
might be that I demonstrated it on the drive to the site as well.
Okay.
If I feel like maybe if I've got the impression to start with they're only learning because they have to,
Mm,
blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff, then I'm gonna do more demonstration on the way to the site of things like that that I know are gonna be difficult to quantify
yeah.
sometimes.
That client-centered learning again,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you've got really quiet or seems anxious,
Hmm.
boy or girl in the car, yeah, you want to probably help them out a little bit because
Yeah.
you know if they make a mistake on
Yeah.
their first drive out,
Yeah.
things like that's going to really affect them later on. They're not going to want to get back in the car again
Yeah.
a second time.
So what could you potentially do if you've got somebody like that? You've got the feeling they're just going to be a bit of a basket
Yeah.
case. What can you do on that first pull away to help with that sort of thing?
I might say I'm going to move the steering wheel for you,
Yeah.
move it out, and I'll let them know before,
Yes.
not after.
Yep.
Not as they move off, I just go and grab it.
Yep.
I'm going to say to make this easier for you, when you move off,
Yep.
I'm going to do the wheel, and once you've moved off, we're going to stop again,
Hmm.
literally just up by this red car.
Yep.
They know exactly what's going to happen.
So communication.
Communication, and they know what managing expectations. They know exactly what the deal is.
Yes.
We're going to move off. We're going to stop there, and I'm going to do your steering wheel for
Yep.
you. You can rest your hand on it if you like, but a loose grip, please.
Yeah.
And I will do that.
Yeah.
And then once you've done that, then let's then introduce that for them.
Absolutely.
But if they're confident, what
Yeah.
you said, what you do, let them do.
Yeah.
And they'll get more of a sense of achievement out of that as well.
Well done. I didn't even have to tell you how to do the steering wheel. Well done.
Yeah.
And that, like, they see the smile, their grin. They're, oh, really?
Yeah.
Like,
It's nice. How would you quantify the steering if you had to quantify it? Say if you
bit that way, bit that way.
Yeah, bit that way, bit that way. Which can work for some people. Most of you probably know anyway.
What's your bit?
My bit, I just do it in like 5 minutes at a time. Yeah.
So the reason I asked you that, their bit might be 2 turns.
Yeah.
And that's why we do need a bit of quantification sometimes.
Yes. So
Absolutely.
if you don't know, we just do the 5 minutes. So we do 5, 10, 5.
Yeah.
So 5 minutes to the right, 10 minutes back to the left,
Yeah.
and then 5 to straighten it back up.
So
again.
how do you work out if they know a clock face?
Well, you ask them.
Yeah. So just if imagine that steering wheel's a clock face, where's 12 o'clock?
Yeah.
And ask them to point.
But again, we sound old this day and age.
Yeah.
Not many clock faces. It's all digital.
Like Apple Watches and stuff. It is one of the options to have a real clock
One
face
of the
on the screen.
options
Yeah.
of a retro. But I mean, how many of them are going to want that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
the
it's good to ask them.
my Corsa steering wheel's got like a couple of like grooves in the leather.
Yeah.
At about 10 minutes.
Oh, nice.
So I say, okay, so just bring the top of the steering wheel to roughly halfway towards where that line is now.
Yeah.
That sort of amount.
Yeah.
So I can quantify something on the steering wheel.
Okay. Brilliant.
Yeah, good.
Nice.
Awesome. I think that we can possibly
finish that there. Yeah. I'd say that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to keep you going too long. So thank you very much for watching.
Yeah.
Please do leave some comments in the video if you're watching this afterwards. We'd love to know your feedback. Hopefully you're finding this helpful. Let me tell you one thing. So what I learned.
I'm excited now.
What I learned today from I sat in the back of a PDI's lesson this morning.
Did you tell him you learnt this?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I even wrote it on his feedback form.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he's got his test in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And he said a phrase right at the beginning, which I loved. And he said, because he'd come to meet me in an area where he hadn't really taken the student before. But he said to the student, and he said he uses this phrase all the time, he says, I'll be your sat nav, so don't worry about where we're going.
Okay, I'll be your sat nav. Yeah, okay.
That's it. So he was giving that student communication that I'm going to guide you of where we're going. Don't worry about that. But I liked the sentence. It was, I'm going to be your sat nav, so don't worry about where we're going.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use that forever. So
while we're on the subject of, my learner said something to me as well. Getting in the wrong lane, you've got to go the wrong way.
Yeah.
She says, okay, so you've got to commit to your mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the way she said it, commit to the mistake.
Yeah.
So rather than think, I've made a mistake, you're committing to the mistake. So you get in the wrong lane, you just go the wrong way.
Yes.
But it's the way she said, okay, I'll just commit to my mistake.
Yeah.
And it was just those words put together in that way. I was like, I like that. Yeah, commit to. So rather than worrying about it, I'm now committed to going that particular way.
That's it. Do that way.
Do that, and it doesn't matter about everything else anymore. I'm committed to my mistake. I'm going that way.
That's the third thing I've learned today.
Yeah.
I think it's in threes.
Yeah.
And on that note, thank you very much for watching.
And we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.